Okay, Jim Crockett said a little bit later that Jim...
I'm back!
Yeah, buddy.
Back up, Tony.
You know, when they said Jim Cornette, you're suspended. You know what I did? I called my mother, and Mama said, don't worry about it. Take a few days off, go down to the condo in Waikiki Beach, soak up some sun. The corporate attorneys will take care of everything. And lo and behold, I was having lunch down there with Don Ho, and the call came, said, come on back, you're unsuspended. And Tony, as a special surprise, I brought you back a genuine Hawaiian flower lei, and I want you to take real good care of this. That's probably the only lei you'll ever get. Now, let me tell you something. They said, you know, give a little, get a little. Okay, so I was suspended, so we had to pay the fine. But that's okay, because you know what a fine is to me? That's a phone call home to Mama. They said we had to give the belts back. Well, you know what? That's okay, too, because everybody knows who the real champions are. Loverboy Dennis and Beautiful Bobby, the Midnight Express. But what the important thing is that Ronnie Garvin, we made you a promise, we made you a vow, and we did what we said we were going to do. We said we were going to put you out, and we did it. We said that we were going to mess your face up real, real bad, and we did it. We said your goose was cooked, and it was, brother, and that is exactly what we said, and that's exactly what we did. Ronnie Garvin will never be the same again. But you know, the shame of it all is the fact that Big Bubba got ripped off in the situation with Dusty Rhodes in the bunkhouse stampede, because I came to ringside direct from Hawaii to be with him, and Jimmy Crockett, that idiot, that tightwad, that goof, sent me back. I wasn't there to guide the man on to victory, and that's why he lost that match.
That's why he lost,
That's why he lost, because I wasn't allowed to keep an eye on the referee to make sure there wasn't nothing funny going on. But don't worry, Dusty Rhodes, Boston Garden, we got a few surprises for you coming up in April. Big Bubba will take you out, and I want to say something to Jimmy Garvin. You know something? Everything that we said we were going to do to Ronnie, we did, and it came off just according to plan. The only thing I didn't count on was gorgeous Jimmy Garvin feeling sympathy for that goof brother of his. Well, let me tell you something, Garvin. You know, they say blood's thicker than water. Well, I know what's thicker than blood, and that's sap, and that's what you are, Jimmy Garvin. You're a sap. You're an idiot. You're a goof. You're a moron, because you were on the good side of the Midnight Express, and you ruined that. You turned turncoat. You turned traitor. Well, you made your bed, Jimmy Garvin, and now you're going to have to lie in it. Precious, you probably made a lot of beds, darling. Well, you're going to have to lie in this one, too. You stay away from me, or I'll knock you out just like I did Baby Doll and all the rest of them and get in my way. And I'm going to tell you one more thing. As far as this cage match goes with me and Ronnie Garvin, that was another stipulation. I had to sign the contract. He had to sign the contract so I could come back. But believe me, Ronnie Garvin, you and me in a cage, it may be signed, but it ain't never going to take place, brother. You believe that, because that's a promise. I'm not crazy, and I ain't getting in a cage with Ronnie Garvin. And right now, my man Big Bubba is going to show you his championship form as the rightful Bunkhouse Stampede champion, what he should have been if it wasn't for the fact that Jimmy Crockett entered into the conspiracy to rip me off again and take away his $100,000. We're going to tear this guy's up right now. Believe it.
You're getting late today.
Let's go to the ring.
Okay, you get the lay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Big Bubba. You know, David. Oh, Lord. Look at Cornette.
Big Bubba Rogers right there, the baddest man in the world. And David, you know, I wanted to bring you a present back. I tried to bring you a pineapple because it was the only thing I could find that looked like your face, but unfortunately, they wouldn't let me bring it into the country. But don't worry, I'll get you something. Look at my man, Big Bubba, the baddest man in the world.
I'm glad to see you back.
You're glad to see me back?
Because that means that you have to get in the cage with Ron Garvin.
Well, if you had had your ears open, you'd have heard that ain't never going to take place. And I'm glad to see you're back, too, especially after seeing your front. But let me tell you something. Big Bubba's the baddest man in the world. And that, have you seen Ronnie Garvin going around with that walking advertisement for Johnson & Johnson Band-Aids? You know, when I was over there in Hawaii, I was having a luau with Jim Neighbors. You know, a luau is where they take that pig and they stick it in the ground, and it takes them 5 hours to barbecue a pig. I did the same thing in 5 seconds when I barbecued that pig, Ronnie Garvin.
I wonder if they mistaked him for the pig.
You know, this is designer stuff, David Crockett, right here. I got this at the Surf and Turf shop down there at the Sheraton Waikiki when I was going out one day. Mama sent my credit card number down, and she got the whole outfit for me. Look at Big Bubba. of Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes was hurting. Dusty Rhodes was in pain. Dusty Rhodes was tired, sweating, blowed up, had you know what coming out of every orifice of his body, and I'm talking.
Dusty Rhodes was the winner.
Dusty Rhodes wasn't a winner except for the fact that your brother, your stinking brother, come out and he barred me from ringside, said I was still suspended when the lawyers had already drawn the papers up. Then he put a crooked referee in there to help his good friend Dusty Rhodes. Then he tried everything in the book that he could do to rattle my man Bubba while I wasn't there. And finally, Dusty Rhodes cheated, lied, connived, and stole the Bunkhouse Stampede trophy and that $100,000.
Well, if I remember correctly, in the Bunkhouse Stampede inside the cage,
I don't think you remember correctly.
Anything goes, right?
Anything goes, but we were trying to be sportsmen. Look at that. The Bubba Slam. If that had been applied to Dusty Rhodes, he would have never got up. And believe me, in that Boston Garden, that's what's going to happen. All the people are going to see it. And Ronnie Garvin does look real nice today, doesn't he?